WWE Fastlane just went down. Boom, boom. Yeah. We're live. All right, we're recording for the podcast as well. We're here on Periscope. Send me your questions right now. WWE Fastlane just went down. It's over. AJ Styles retains the WWE Championship, as we expected he would, right? We expected AJ would retain the title tonight, and he does so. I thought the match was pretty good. What did you guys think of the main event? I thought it was match of the night. Looking at the card up and down, Randy Orton becomes the new United States champion. I was surprised by that. Surprised that Randy took the title from Bobby Roode. But that to me was the only real surprise of this show as far as the result of the match. I was a little bit surprised with Shane McMahon tonight. What did you guys think of Shane McMahon? And what are we setting up here for WrestleMania? This is the last show before WrestleMania, the last pay-per-view. WrestleMania is 4 weeks away now. We have 4 TVs to set up WrestleMania, and it seems like Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn might be wrestling each other at Mania. Chris Carter says the match was 7 on 10, the main event. I agree with that. Wasn't the greatest match I've ever seen, but it wasn't the worst. It was alright. D. Derek John says he's not surprised Randy won. I'm a bit surprised. Moose54 says Shane setting up his 7-figure payday. What else? I don't really know if it's about money for Shane McMahon. I guess he's talking about Shane McMahon there. Shane's got money. You know, he's Vince McMahon's son. That helps, right, guys? You think Randy's going to drop the U.S. title at WrestleMania? Maybe. But I like that Randy Orton won the United States Championship. And a lot of people that listen to Wrestling Uncensored might be surprised to hear me say that I'm happy to see Randy win. But, you know, what are the other choices? Bobby Roode? Jinder Mahal? I'm much happier with Randy. And Randy holding the U.S. title elevates the U.S. title. It means way more now. And the U.S. title going into WrestleMania means way more now, right? The U.S. title with Bobby Roode, the U.S. title's on the pre-show of WrestleMania. The U.S. title with Randy Orton, all of a sudden, it becomes an attraction. It becomes an important match. The U.S. title is going to mean something at WrestleMania this year because of Randy Orton. So I'm not mad at Randy winning it. And then Chris Carter says, Randy, U.S. champion, is good. Roode winning it at Mania cements him as legit. And then Derek Johnson, Roode versus Mahal versus Randy will be bad. I agree. And I guess that's going to be the match at WrestleMania. But I could see it just being Bobby Roode, Randy Orton one-on-one in a rematch. Maybe some sort of stipulation match, you know? So, I don't know. One guy saying here, Mike Gives Back says, off topic, but he hates it when guys pin each other on the stairs. Okay. And he thinks Jinder will be involved in the match. I'm not so sure about that. I think you can get rid of Jinder on SmackDown. Have Randy beat him, have Bobby Roode beat him, and then there's no reason to have Jinder at WrestleMania. I'm looking at Mania right now, and just based on what we set up for SmackDown tonight, we set up a lot of triple threats. Right? We had the Bludgeon Brothers interfere with the New Day and the Usos, so you assume it's going to be New Day versus Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown tag titles at WrestleMania. That's one triple threat. And then you have, Randy versus Jinder versus Bobby Roode? That's another one. And then possibly Shane McMahon versus Sami versus Kevin Owens. Is that happening? Is that what we're going towards? I thought we were going to do Sami versus Kevin one-on-one at WrestleMania, but it seems like now it's going to be Shane involved in that match. I don't think he's going to be the special referee. I think he's going to get physically involved. I think he might wrestle. Maybe he'll be the referee. In fact, I think it would be better if he were the referee and not wrestling in the match, because I think Sami versus Kevin one-on-one at WrestleMania should happen. They've wrestled each other so many times, so many places in the world. And I think that's good enough. Chris Carter here says Sammy versus KO with Shane as the ref and D-Bry as the enforcer. I like that. And then Mike gives back saying maybe Daniel Bryan's the referee. That's another option, right? So one guy pointing out saying, well, maybe it'll be Shane versus Sammy versus Kevin in a triple threat with Daniel Bryan as the referee. And then somebody else saying, well, maybe it'll be Sammy versus Kevin with Shane as the referee and Daniel Bryan as like the outside enforcer to make sure Shane doesn't screw things up. And I pointed out, like Mike is pointing out here, he wishes Daniel Bryan would be in the match itself. And I agree 100%, right? Wouldn't we prefer seeing Daniel Bryan right now? Don't we want to watch Daniel Bryan wrestle? It doesn't look like he's going to be wrestling at Mania this year. And it doesn't really look like he's going to be wrestling in the WWE at all. When's the last time we even saw him on TV? He barely is on SmackDown now. I would love to see... I mean, imagine that match, right? Imagine Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Shane McMahon versus Daniel Bryan in a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. It would be fantastic. But then, you could also turn the page and say, well, forget Daniel Bryan in the WWE. Wouldn't you rather see Daniel Bryan versus Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom next year? Not bad. Not bad. I wouldn't mind seeing that either. I just want to see Daniel Bryan in the ring and not making tag team matches on SmackDown. Somebody here saying, what about Asuka? What about Asuka? That was pretty good, right? I assumed Asuka would wind up challenging Charlotte at WrestleMania. That to me is the match to make. I thought that was really good. I enjoyed seeing Asuka show up there. I thought that she would do it on Raw. I didn't think Asuka was going to show up tonight. But I like that she showed up and challenged Charlotte. And yeah, Mike's saying I've been predicting that for a while. I have been predicting Asuka versus Charlotte for a while. Because to me, that is the main event for WrestleMania. Charlotte is the queen of the women's division. She is the queen of women's wrestling. She is the top star in all of women's wrestling. I think you can argue that she is the top female wrestler in the world today. The top star, at least. And then Asuka, I mean, she's undefeated. She is dominant. And as far as technically in the ring, she is maybe the best pure wrestler in all of the WWE. And I've mentioned it again. You know, I've said it again. But go out and see Asuka's tag team match that she did in Japan against Minoru Suzuki. And tell me Asuka isn't the toughest lady in the WWE. Suzuki beat her severely. It was disgusting. It's on YouTube. Check it out. Asuka is the best. Asuka is number one. Ichiban. I think Asuka Charlotte should main event WrestleMania. Derek John says, Charlotte is the queen, but she loses too much. She won tonight. Beat Ruby Riott. Asuka versus Charlotte at Mania. Asuka wins and then Money in the Bank cash-in. Best way for her to lose, says Chris Carter. That's not a bad scenario there. Where Asuka beats Charlotte at Mania and then Carmella cashes in on Asuka. But I don't like Asuka losing. I think Asuka beats Charlotte. Carmella tries to cash in and also loses to Asuka. It's Asuka. No one's ready for Asuka. I think Carmella should hold on to that Money in the Bank briefcase and see if she can transfer it over to Alexa Bliss. Mike saying Carmella will be the biggest heel in the world. Yeah, but, like, is that really believable? Is that something you want to see? Carmella versus Asuka? Who cares about Carmella? Flame PHX saying Asuka was also Kenny Omega's tag team partner in a match. Which is pretty good, right? Kenny Omega. Anybody see him reveal himself under the bear suit and attack Cody Rhodes? That was pretty good in that Ring of Honor deal. The wrestling world is on fire right now. I'm going to be putting out a New Japan podcast pretty soon to cover the first round of the New Japan Cup. The New Japan Cup is going down, and the first round actually ends tonight, later tonight in a few hours. Harry Smith, Davey Boy Smith Jr., he's going to be wrestling Toru Yano tonight in his match. And then the other match, the other semifinal is, or it's not semifinal, it's round of 16. Chuck E. T's wrestling Sonata. Mike saying can't wait to see AJ versus Shinsuke. Of course. Who doesn't want to see AJ versus Shinsuke? It's going to be great. Yeah. I don't know how late I'm going to stay up. I don't know if I'll watch the New Japan show live tonight, but a lot of wrestling. This New Japan Cup has been on fire. Michael Elgin and Tomohiro Ishii have been killing it. But back to the WWE and back to Asuka. I don't want to see her and Carmella. Asuka and Ronda Rousey is the match. That's obvious to me. Asuka has been using an armbar a lot to win matches. And Ronda Rousey, next to Charlotte, like she's the next big target. And if anybody is legitimately going to beat Asuka, come on guys, it's not Carmella. It's not Carmella. It's Ronda Rousey. If anybody beats Asuka, it's Ronda. It's not Charlotte. It's not Carmella. It's not Becky Lynch. It's not Bayley or Sasha Banks. It's Ronda Rousey. And if Ronda Rousey really is sticking around and going to be a part of the WWE roster, why not allow her to be the one to beat Asuka? Or have Asuka beat her? Chris Carter saying Carmella would be great at avoiding the rematch with Asuka, and yeah, I guess. I don't know. One guy asking me why nobody likes Michael Elgin. I don't know why nobody likes Michael Elgin. I've heard he's got, I don't know, maybe his personality or something. He had some sort of deal with a lady. I don't know exactly the whole story. I don't want to comment on it, but he's a good wrestler. Derek John says he thinks Asuka should beat Ronda. Yeah, I'm not against that. But then again, it's Ronda Rousey, and you're trying to build Ronda Rousey as a big star in the WWE, right? So do you really want to have her lose? She's going to win her first match teaming with Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. Okay, she beats Stephanie McMahon. And then she loses to Asuka right away? I'd like to see Ronda involved in a program or two where she wins past Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. I want to see Ronda wrestle somebody. Like, you got to build her up towards Asuka. You can't do it right away. I think Ronda and Charlotte would make a lot of sense. Mike's saying it could be Sasha and Ronda. That's not a bad idea either. But Ronda and Charlotte, I think, if Charlotte loses to Asuka, Ronda has to go through Charlotte. She has a couple matches, couple pay-per-views there, gets through Charlotte, and then she goes after Asuka. And then you could do several matches, depending on what kind of wrestler Ronda is, too. Flame PHX saying Ronda might be a female version of Kurt Angle one day. Maybe. We can hope, right? And Chris Carter saying, sell me the idea of Ronda losing. Why not? It's pro wrestling. Brock Lesnar lost many times in the WWE. There's no reason why Ronda can't lose either. Raw and SmackDown in Montreal will be sellouts. That's Habs fan asking me that. I think so. They're nearly sold out. I just took a look at tickets the other day. Or I guess it was today that I took a look at tickets. It was a long day today. And, they're nearly sold out. Both shows, Raw and SmackDown. April 30th and May 1st here. I got my tickets way early, but both shows are nearly sold out, so if you want to go, try and get your tickets right now. But there's not much left. Nothing good anyways. Should be interesting to see what they do here. 2 straight shows in my hometown. End of April, last week before Backlash. Shane McMahon crying right now on the thing? I'll watch Talking Smack later. Any other questions here for Fastlane? I'll run down the card, just let you know what happened. Have both Ronda and Asuka champs at next year's Mania. Yeah, why not? You could separate Ronda and Asuka for an entire year if you want to, and then have that as your main event for next year. I'm not mad at that. Why does Ronda have to go after Asuka? Why can't Ronda go after Alexa Bliss? Or Nia Jax? You know, how come Ronda doesn't work a program maybe with Alexa and then Nia for that title, and you keep her separate from Asuka? Asuka can be on SmackDown or whatever. And then they wrestle each other at Mania next year. I'm fine with that. I would like to see it a bit sooner, but it depends what Ronda's schedule is. There's a lot of questions with Ronda. Like, can she wrestle and how often is she going to be here? Who should face Bliss at Mania? I think it's going to be Nia Jax. Both undefeated. Ronda versus Asuka next year. Yeah. One guy saying the Bludgeon Brothers are terrible. And Mike is replying here, he thinks the Bludgeon Brothers are awesome. I like the Bludgeon Brothers. Like, I don't like their big hammers. I think their hammers look stupid. But I like their gimmick. I like their theme music. I like Harper and Rowan as a team. They're a good team together. They've had some great matches with the Usos. I remember it was a Money in the Bank a few years ago I was at. I think it was either in Philly or Boston. And Harper and Rowan wrestled the Usos on like the pre-show, and it was a killer match. For a long time there, the Usos and Harper and Rowan were just tearing the house down. So there's no reason why they can't do it again. They were a great tag team. They should have never broken them up. But I like the idea of New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers and the Usos at WrestleMania. I'm happy with that. Just a straight-up triple tag team. I thought that match was good. Mike says he loved the ending of the match, how Usos and New Day still look evenly matched. Chris says he thinks that as wrestlers they're great, but he doesn't like their gimmick. The Bludgeon Brothers. Doesn't like their costumes. It's not for everybody, you know. They can't be Wyatts their whole career. They gotta try something else. They do kind of look like the Berserker. I like the Berserker. He was good. They should be more Berserker-ish and less Wyatt-ish, if you understand what I'm saying. Like a little bit more crazy and wild. A little bit more like Bushwhackers. And a little bit less like The Undertaker. A little goofier, I think, would be good for them. Not too goofy, but just a bit more. Because right now they're just kind of bland. And they could be the next Ascension if they're not careful. But I think match quality-wise, they could have a really good match. Rat Python asked me, will they ever bring in Sister Abigail? Maybe, if they want to do something with Bray Wyatt. And Mike says the further they are from Bray, the better. Look at Braun Strowman. I agree. I think Braun Strowman, you know, he came in as muscle for the Bray Wyatt squad. What are they called? I was going to call them the Wyatt squad. That's not what they're called. They're the Wyatt family. The Riot Squad is something else. Mike says Bray is Sister Abigail. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. When he like dressed up as Sister Abigail and he talked like a lady. The Wyatt Squad. Yeah, Braun Strowman was in the Wyatt Squad, and he was their muscle for a little bit, and then he broke away, and now he's a way bigger star than Bray Wyatt could ever hope to be. He's way better, too. He's way more awesome. What's Braun Strowman doing at WrestleMania? Like, whoa, where are they really going with that? Is he going to wrestle Elias in some sort of match? Elias again? We just had the Symphony of Destruction. How many matches against Elias can we really sit through? Terrible. Rat Python wants Sister Abigail to show up at the Hardy compound. I'd rather see Vanguard 1 or Senor Benjamin. Better version of the Authors of Pain. Who is? Who's winning the Battle Royal? The Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania? Rusev Day? I'd say Rusev Day. Getting a lot of questions here, fast and furious. Keep your questions coming. As long as the questions keep coming, I'll keep going on this gimmick. WWE Fastlane going down tonight. AJ Styles once again defending the WWE title in the 6-pack challenge. I thought it was match of the night. What was your match of the night? If not that, what was it? I think it was that, right? Charlotte beating Ruby Riott, and then Asuka came out afterwards to challenge Charlotte for WrestleMania. I thought that was a cool little moment. I thought the match was okay. I'm not too sold on Ruby Riott or the Wyatt Squad or whatever they call themselves. I'll tell you, Ruby Riott would make a good Sister Abigail. She looks like she could be Sister Abigail. She also looks like she could be like Undertaker's daughter if you wanted to go that way, you know? Tag title match. Mike says tag title match was match of the night. I think so too, but the finish was kind of... I don't know. When you have a finish there where it's like a non-finish, it's a no contest where the Bludgeon Brothers come in and just beat them all up, it's hard for me to give it match of the night. Out of 5 stars, what do I give this pay-per-view? 2, maybe? It wasn't great. Derek asking me if there's going to be a women's battle royal at WrestleMania. I think there could be. I think there very well could be. I think there are a lot of women that don't have spots at WrestleMania that need spots. So why not throw them in a battle royal? Rosemary or Mika was going to be Sister Abigail. Mika Rotunda? Is she even signed by WWE? I don't know. I'm out of the loop. Sister Abigail is cross for Sanity, but Sanity may be better as a group than Wyatt was. Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't know. Sanity... I'm not so much into NXT these days. I'm not overwhelmed with the quality of that product. I do like the world champion, though. Andrade Cien Almas is fantastic. I think he's going to come up to the main roster soon. They need him on the main roster. He's just top talent. I like Cross and Dane. Yeah, Killian Dane. He's pretty cool, too. I like that guy. I like Almas. I like some of the ladies. I like Nikki Cross. I like Ember Moon. I don't know. Not too many talents in NXT are really sticking out to me right now. I want to see Ricochet on the main roster. I don't even want to see him in NXT. Charlotte versus Asuka is going to be great at WrestleMania. I feel like that's the main event. You know, you got Shinsuke versus AJ Styles. Shinsuke and Rusev, by the way, I did not think was a great match. Shinsuke beating Rusev tonight at Fastlane. Randy Orton beating Bobby Roode to become the new U.S. champion. Flame PHX saying NXT's getting the North American title. Yeah, I saw that. Aleister Black and Shayna Baszler, I do like them. Yeah, there's some talent on NXT. I do like Shayna Baszler. Aleister Black is pretty good, too. Oh, I like this question from JST Andrew. He says, when is Hogan coming back? I don't know, brother, but it better be soon. Because I miss Big Terry. You asked me about Hulk Hogan, I could go on and on. I love Hulk Hogan. Love me some Terry. I don't know when he's going to come back. Maybe never. One guy saying Nakamura never has a good match, but AJ Styles is going to carry him. I think that's disrespectful to Nakamura. He's had some pretty great matches. Mike saying they're teasing Hogan coming back. I don't know about that. I mean, they show him once in a while, but I would be very happy to see him at WrestleMania. I would be very happy to see him. Rat Python says it's good to see Paul back managing. Authors of Pain. Yeah, Paul Ellering. Yeah, that's cool. JST Andrew saying Hogan was big in that porno. What do you mean big? Big as in... You know? Are you talking about... I'm gonna move on. I'd rather see Ricochet in NXT. Why? CM Punk returned? One guy saying CM Punk returned. Returned where? Isn't WWE going to be sold? Man, we're getting some wild questions tonight. I don't think WWE is going to be sold anytime soon. It's a publicly traded company. The McMahons would have to sell a big portion of their shares. So I don't know. And the CM Punk return thing, I don't know what that was. Trust me, WWE needs more than just returns. Yeah, I guess so. I think that they need some new stars. I think that they need to start using their stars properly. I think that they need to relax on the Roman Reigns train. WWE may be sold to Disney. There's just rumors. There's rumors that everything's going to be sold to Disney. Disney owns everything. CM Punk never coming back. I think that's possible. How about Kenny Omega dressing up like a bear to attack Cody? Yeah, I did mention that earlier. That was awesome. Barv95 saying they need help. I agree, they need help. I'll work for Vince McMahon. He wants to call me up. Vince, you can call me. You can jump on this Periscope, DM me on Twitter. I follow you, Vince. If you follow me, we can DM each other. Okay, Vince McMahon? I've got a bunch of ideas on how to change the company. It starts with a little less Roman Reigns. And it ends with a lot more Kevin Owens. And question here, what do we think Lone Wolf will do with Corbin? Like what Corbin's going to do at Mania? I don't know. One guy saying Johnny North for WrestleMania main event. I agree. I'd much rather see Johnny North wrestle than a majority of the WWE guys. Johnny North, by the way, is going to wrestle March 24th in Verdun, and I will be at that show. He's wrestling for the Torture Chamber Drew Onyx promotion. This guy's saying Kevin Owens is just as crappy as Roman Reigns. I disagree with you, sir. Obviously, by my t-shirt, you can tell I disagree with you. Is Seth Rollins booked properly? No. Y'all nerds. You're a nerd. When do they bring up Johnny Gargano? I don't know. I think NXT needs him more than the main roster does. I think Johnny Gargano's a little bit small. And he'd suffer on the main roster. This guy's saying Kevin Owens is just a WWE video game created character. Except he's a real man. He's like an actual human. I've seen him in real life. He's a real guy, so that's not true. And this guy's saying Barv is a Shane O'Mac guy. Maybe he is. Yeah, the trolls. Yeah, Mike's saying, where did these trolls come from? That's pretty good. Boss Pineda asking me a good question. Real question is, who will be the real leader of the Bullet Club? I don't know. I thought it was real interesting to see Ibushi teaming with some members of the Bullet Club without Kenny Omega this weekend in New Japan. I don't know if you caught that, but Kota Ibushi teaming up with Chase Owens because he teamed with Chase and Kenny, but also teamed with Tonga Leo and, or what's his name? Yeah. You know, like one of the Tongans and somebody else. Anyways. If I like Kevin Owens, I don't like the Attitude Era period, early 2000s. Well, that's ridiculous. Of course I like the Attitude Era. I was there during the Attitude Era. How many times did you see The Rock in 1998 or 1999, huh? I saw him many times. Don't talk to me about the Attitude Era. Now I'm getting hot. Okay? I saw a lot of things during the Attitude Era, sir. Why don't you cool it? Yeah, man. These guys are getting hot. Kevin Owens is a cool dude. Saw him in NDG a couple times. Yes, I understand that he's around NDG. And he was at... KO was Attitude Era at Sharks in Laval in the 2000s. Yeah, KO was definitely a big wrestling fan. He says, if I like these guys, they're crappy, really. Yeah. Well, I don't know. This guy... There's some guy here on the Periscope feed that doesn't really understand good professional wrestlers as opposed to bad professional wrestlers. I do kind of want to know who he thinks is good, because he thinks Roman is good, but also, or he thinks Roman is bad, but also Kevin Owens is bad, which is kind of weird. How do you not like Roman, but then also not like Kevin Owens? Who do you like? DJ A saying, hey Dave. Hey DJ A 1130. How are you? Thanks for checking aboard the Fastlane post-show Periscope. I got my co-host here. I don't have Johnny North, but I've got my man over here, Finn Balor. He's helping me out. It's my son's Finn Balor gimmick. He's a Snitsky guy. Okay, Barf, but you haven't mentioned anybody saying something good is better than what we're getting now. He hasn't mentioned anybody that he actually likes in wrestling, so step away, Barf. Where is Johnny North? He's not here. He'll be here for WrestleMania. I like Kevin Owens. I think he's a great wrestler. He's a really good wrestler. Barf says he doesn't like anybody, to be honest. Well, why are you watching wrestling then? You don't like AJ Styles? How do you not like AJ Styles? Who watches wrestling and doesn't appreciate the phenomenal AJ Styles? Ridiculous. Johnny North is better than Roman and Kevin Owens. Wow. At film reviews. Oh, at film reviews. I thought you meant in wrestling. That was a big one. This guy just likes the old school wrestlers, I guess, right? This one guy doesn't like anybody, it seems like. Roman Reigns must be deleted, Boss Pineda says. I agree. He must be deleted. Maybe we can get Matt Hardy on the case. One guy asking, who do you think is going to win the Andre Battle Royal other than Rusev or Kane? Other than Rusev or Kane? I don't even know why Kane is in the mix. I mean, other than Rusev, I'd say. Maybe Matt Hardy, maybe Braun Strowman, maybe somebody from NXT, Aleister Black or something like that. Johnny Wrestling or Samoa Joe, says Mike Gives Back. That's a good one. Maybe Samoa Joe. Goldberg. My goodness, I hope not. It better not be Goldberg. I don't want to see Goldberg wrestling anymore. I'm good with Goldberg. This guy just continuing saying we like anybody the WWE hands to us. Yeah, that's the case. This guy obviously doesn't listen to Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah. This guy's a pure jabroni, I would say. Barv. Yeah, what kind of name is Barv anyways? What's wrong with this guy? He's like watching wrestling, but he hates all the wrestlers. Very strange. Very strange man you are, Barv. Too sweet, yeah. Yeah, Barf, I'll tell you what, man. Like, if you're sick of the WWE product, I totally understand. I think you've been watching wrestling since way back. So have I. I'm not impressed with you at all. And here Mike says, Dave almost entirely disses everyone WWE throws at us. Roman, RKO, Rude, Miz. Exactly. Just watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's much better. Don't be cheap. Spend $10 a month. Subscribe to New Japan World and watch some real good professional wrestling. If you don't like the WWE, but you claim to like pro wrestling, then watch New Japan and stop complaining. Mike's saying this guy probably thinks Bret Hart is overrated. Probably. This guy's saying he's not trolling, he's just keeping it real. Okay. Good job. Oh, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. There's a lot of, back and forth now. Guys on the Periscope feed are talking smack to other guys. Well, actually, there's just one guy named Barv, and everybody's just kind of jumping on him. Rat Python says he's been watching wrestling for 40 plus years. That is impressive. That's a long time. I've been watching wrestling for nearly 30 years. Watching the WWE for nearly 30 years myself. And a lot of other wrestling. So, anyways. Natty and Carmella beat Becky Lynch and Naomi in a tag team match. Nothing special there. I wonder where they're going to go for WrestleMania. Maybe in that women's battle royal. It would make a lot of sense, right? And that's pretty much it. Somebody saying he heard a shocking loss happen in the New Japan Cup. Well, I haven't seen Naito's match with Zack Sabre Jr. yet, so I don't know. Maybe Naito lost. So far, nothing shocking. And this guy's saying he can't recall anything amazing since Goldberg beat Brock in a minute. That's the last amazing thing you saw? You like that? Did you enjoy that? Maybe you don't like wrestling at all. If your favorite match lasts 30 seconds, what kind of wrestling fan are you? Tag teams are not the same anymore? I don't know about that. I think the tag team division is pretty strong. Usos and A New Day had a good match tonight. One guy saying Paul Heyman's going to double-cross Brock at WrestleMania and become Roman Reigns' advisor. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Heyman sticks around if Brock's not there. Mike's saying Goldberg's never been in a good match. I would tend to agree with that. I would tend to agree. Although I know Johnny North was a big fan of his WrestleMania match with Brock last year. So. This guy's still on it, this Barv fellow. Saying it was amazing. Why do I think he doesn't like wrestling? Well, because you seem to hate all the wrestlers. You seem to not like any of the wrestlers in WWE. Not even AJ Styles. It's kind of weird. This guy saying he loves Goldberg in his top 3. Boss Pineda says get Dave Simon to write for WWE. Hey, that's me. That's not a bad idea. I'm into it. Chris Carter says his favorite's now Ziggler. Where does he go from here after talking his way into a WrestleMania spot? I don't know where he goes from here. Like, Ziggler went away for a while. He gave up the U.S. title. Didn't come back to try and get the U.S. title. Gets a shot in this match. And doesn't win. So, and like, he wasn't even that impressive in this match. He really didn't do anything that gave you an idea of what he's going to do for WrestleMania, right? I have no idea what Dolph Ziggler's going to do. I really don't know. I'm not a huge Dolph Ziggler fan. I don't really care to see what he does. Maybe he'll win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Like, that's where I think he is. He's just a guy who's going to be thrown in there. He's not a guy in a major spot. He's not a guy that matters right now in the WWE. He's just not. I mean, look at John Cena doesn't even know who his WrestleMania opponent is yet, right? Although I have a feeling we might find out tomorrow night on Raw, probably Undertaker. This guy's saying Ziggler should have been in New Japan. I think he might do well in New Japan. Moving on would be good. And then this Barv guy saying, I must like Braun Strowman. Yeah, I do like Braun Strowman. He's alright, no? His catchphrase, get these hands, isn't great either, but yeah, I think it's going to be John Cena versus The Undertaker. I wonder when we will see John Cena and Undertaker segment. I think it's going to be tomorrow night on Raw. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I think it's going to happen. John Cena versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Mike's saying he's going to be at Raw tomorrow, so I hope someone cool shows up to challenge Cena. Mike, where is Raw tomorrow? Where are you going to be? Or where are you at right now? How would I book Seth Rollins? HabsFan77 says, how would I book Seth Rollins? He thinks they're wasting him. Detroit. Raw's in Detroit. Well, have fun, Mike. Enjoy that. I don't know how they book Seth Rollins. I think Seth right now, well, isn't he in the triple threat? Yeah, Seth's already booked. Seth is going to wrestle Finn and The Miz in a triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Mike saying the last time you saw Raw Live, Shane returned. And Rico Suave saying Cena should shut up. Oh man, Rico doesn't like John Cena. I think John Cena's going to wrestle The Undertaker. I think it's the only match for Taker to have right now. Like, if Taker is going to come back and wrestle, who's he going to wrestle? I don't know what you do with The Undertaker other than John Cena. And for John Cena right now, what else is he going to do? Rico says they should push Balor and Rollins. Well, they're going to have to choose one because they're in the same match at Mania against The Miz for the Intercontinental title. Somebody's saying Cena versus Taker doesn't make sense to me. Why not? Another guy saying Cena should be retiring and go away. Cena's a big star. Do you hear the pop he got tonight? People want to see John Cena. And Derek John saying Cena has to win. I disagree. I think Undertaker should win. I think Undertaker should retire off this match. I really okay, you put Roman Reigns over, you put Brock Lesnar over, you're nearly 50 years old, you're not walking around that well. One last match. Just end it here. I don't really need Undertaker to keep going past this year. I don't need Undertaker to be wrestling right now. And Barv saying Undertaker should have been retired, I actually agree with you, Barv, which is weird, because so far I've not agreed with anything this guy said, but I think Undertaker, after he lost to Brock, could have called it a day, but he decided to keep going. I didn't really want to see The Undertaker end the streak with Brock. I thought another guy would have been better. I thought Cena would have been better to take it from Taker, but, it all worked out in the end with Brock Lesnar. But I think that John Cena, Undertaker now, should be that retirement match. It should be over for Taker after this. Chris Carter saying he wants to see Taker versus Kane in a Buried Alive match. Maybe they both bury each other. This guy's saying that I'm crazy to want Cena to retire Undertaker. Yeah, I don't think you understand the wrestling business. I don't think you understand the respect that Undertaker has for a guy like John Cena. And I don't think you understand what it would mean for Undertaker to have his last match against John Cena. And Rico saying, I'd rather see HBK retire the Taker. Well, that's not going to happen because Undertaker retired Shawn Michaels. And this is in the same vein. This is the same deal. This is a legend going to another legend to give him one last match to end his career. And that's what I think this is. This is Undertaker recognizing that John Cena is one of the biggest stars in the history of the business, and he respects him, and I think Undertaker versus Cena is the match to happen. And I think Taker should retire off of it. But I would like to see Undertaker win. Cena has no problem losing these kinds of matches. I think Cena losing, Taker wins. I'd like to see Taker finish his career on a winning note. I like it. But Chris Carter wants it to be Kane and Undertaker. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't even know if Kane's going to be at Mania. And if he is, I think it's going to be during the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I don't really want to see Kane versus The Undertaker again. I don't think we need it. One guy says he wants to see a New Japan invasion for WrestleMania. That wouldn't be too bad. Can Taker even wrestle? He has a hard time walking. Yeah, he's got a hard time. I don't know. We'll see. But I think he wants to do it. Yeah, this guy Barv is just complaining about everything. I think I might start ignoring his things. Are we wrapping this show up? I've gone on long enough with this thing. You want the match to feel organic, not an acting class. Yeah, whatever. I'm over it. Guys, I think we're done here. I think we're done. Fastlane happened. I'll preview WrestleMania on the next episode of Wrestling Uncensored. Give me your last few questions here. I'm going to wrap up in a couple minutes. Will Wyatt and Hardy be on Mania? I think so. I think they're going to hold off till Mania. But maybe they'll do it on Raw. You never know. Good night, Mike. Enjoy Raw tomorrow night, man. Have fun. Final questions here. We're going to wrap this thing up. Barv, it's been great getting to know you, I guess. Follow me on Twitter at Dave Simon MMA. Follow Johnny North at North Genesis. Wrestling Uncensored will be back this week for another show. Follow me on Twitter there, Barv. I'm sure we can discuss a lot of things pro wrestling. Maybe you could start watching New Japan and actually enjoy the business again. I'm going to go watch some New Japan right now, and I'll put out a New Japan podcast in the next couple of days. I'm going to put that out after the first round is over, and then I'll preview the second round, the quarterfinals. Boss Pineda saying, watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, people. I agree. Watch New Japan. Watch the WWE. Just watch pro wrestling. Final questions here. Where did I get that KO shirt? I got it from WWE Shop. WWE Shop. Barv, just watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. Stop complaining about wrestling. Enjoy it, you know. There's good stuff in the WWE. Shinsuke Nakamura against AJ Styles at WrestleMania. How can you complain about that? Alright, that's it. We're done. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll be back for Wrestling Uncensored and some New Japan stuff, like I said. Stay on my Twitter at Dave Simon MMA and WrestlingUncensored.net. This has been the Fastlane review.